Hello everyone and welcome to the Sky channel. So I just started Raid Shadow Legends and I only started playing about 24 to 27 hours ago, and I want to share some of the things that I learned throughout the time that I've played this game, as well as through all the research that I did before I even started the game, because I like to be somebody who starts a game prepared, goes through a bunch of guides, Googles a bunch of stuff, just so that I don't make a lot of mistakes in the game. Of course, I probably still do, and that's where the practical playing of the game comes in. But there's a lot of things that I have already learned that I can share with everyone. And the unique perspective that I'm going to be adding is of a genuinely new player. Right? If you are a new player, I could probably relate to you really well because I myself am pretty new as well. And somewhere in the middle of this video, I'll be talking about how you can save a lot of money in Raid Shadow Legends, get a lot of cash backs when you make in-game purchases, and get a ton of stuff completely free from Raid Shadow Legends as they're celebrating a partnership with Aptoid. You're getting skill tombs, energy regeneration, experience bonuses, silver, and a 5-star chicken. Now, despite the fact that I only started recently, you can see that I have made significant progress. I'm ranked number 2 with over 2,000 of these points that you get every time you clear a new level. So the advancement of my character, despite being completely free, is significant, right? I think the number 1 probably did a little bit of spending to get that. However, I didn't spend a single dollar in the account so far. And part of the reason is because I've done a lot of games and I do understand that in the beginning, there's a lot of things that you can spend on that are not really going to benefit you in the long run, right? You'll just be saving yourself a few days at best, but in reality, it is an extreme short-term investment that will soon be obsolete. So before I actually start spending any money in the game, I want to make sure that I know what to spend on. So for the time being, we're gonna stay as a free-to-play player. But of course, I want to start talking about some of the amazing things that I've learned so you could also get onto a pretty good start. The first one that I'm sure you probably have heard: when you start a new account, it's always best to use an affiliate link. Now you can have a friend create a referral link for you, or you can Google and you'll find a bunch of great links. And I think different links give different prizes. I used the one that Hell Hades had, and that got me this champion. Now the thing about those links is that you have to use those links before you download the game. But if you've already downloaded the game and you haven't really progressed much, you have an option of starting a new game in another device, linking it to, let's say, Facebook, and then logging into that account on this specific device. That way the account that you have on your current device is going to get automatically deleted, and that other account is going to come in through. Honestly, I tried to delete it directly through the game in my iPhone. It just didn't work. They just had me go through a lot of contact support kind of stuff. Now, the other thing is that during, I think, the first day or something, you have the opportunity to insert promo codes that can allow you to get some great stuff. I used the Monkey King promo code, and that got me Sun Wukong. And you have no idea how amazing that is, right? Getting a legendary is not that easy, and especially someone like Sun Wukong. Now, the thing about Sun Wukong is that he is really good at dealing a lot of damage. And what I noticed is that he was doing a ton of damage in the campaign, and a lot of it was actually area effect. So he would actually just clear out a lot of enemies by himself. So he's a really good champion that you can get for free using the promo code. So if you haven't progressed really far, consider starting a new game and getting these legendary characters. They're completely free, and maybe they're more valuable than any progress that you've made so far. Now, one of the things that I noticed in the beginning was that there was just so much energy that it wasn't really decreasing. I was leveling up too fast, and the energy number kept on increasing. No matter how many stages of the campaign I kept clearing, I kept getting more and more energy. And I started the game late at night, and I really wanted to finish my energy before I went to sleep. And that meant that I really didn't get much time to sleep because the energy kept coming back. So in the beginning, you can have a lot of energy, and what you want to do with that energy is that you want to pass as many campaigns as possible because they are pretty helpful. They give you a bunch of amazing prizes, and really cool prizes, by the way. While you're completing the different levels, you get some great prizes from the levels themselves. But if you go at the bottom, based on how many stars you've got, you actually get some amazing prizes down there as well. So not only do you want to pass the levels, you want to try to get as many of those stars as possible, because there are certain prizes like those tombs or books that you can use to level up the skills of some of your characters that are extremely rare, and you can get them from this as well. And a bunch of other stuff, definitely worth it. Now, you can see that I have gotten 218 out of 252 stars in the normal difficulty within the first day. I even went too hard and I got 105 out of 252 that are available here. Some of the stages are locked. That's because I reached a cap where I needed to upgrade my character further before I could actually pass a few rounds. Now, a mistake that I made in the normal in particular was the fact that in a lot of the levels, I was actually going and battling them with more than 2 characters. I didn't realize the significance of these stars, so I would have a really weak character as well as, let's say, these 3 strong ones, and that one would generally die, and I'd still win though. The problem is that I would only get 1 star because one of my characters died, so it doesn't actually give 2 star if you lose any of your characters. And of course, to get 3 star, you only need to have 2 characters or less, and then none of them should die. So what I eventually had to do was that I only had to focus on 2 of my characters, and that was Kale as a starter and Monkey King. Now, I didn't mention this before, but generally people say that you should choose Kale. That's primarily because Kale has poison damage, and poison damage deals damage based on maximum HP. That is very helpful against bosses. So if you haven't chosen a character as your initial one, try to get Kale. He's quite helpful. Okay, so wherever possible, try using only 2 characters to pass the round and hope that none of them die. And how you can make sure of that is by making sure that the 2 characters are extremely well equipped. Now, when it comes to well equipped, there's certain things that you can consider. Number 1 is having lifesteal gear. Now, lifesteal gear is actually way more important than you can imagine, because the biggest problem that you're trying to avoid in the campaign is your characters dying. If they die, you're not getting 2 stars. And if you want your character to survive, they need to have a lot of health, right? And a lot of health can come from healing. So if you have 4 lifesteal gear equipment, 30% of the damage that you deal comes back to you as health. Now, the 2 characters that I was using to clear the rounds were actually heavy damage dealers. So, giving them both lifesteal gear means that both of them have a very high chance of surviving, because as they deal damage, they're getting a bunch of health back. So that's particularly important. The other thing that you can do is you can upgrade the gear to level 8. Now, upgrading to level 8 is actually fairly cheap. It's not that expensive, and it doesn't really cost too much to do that. But you get an increase in stats, and of course, you get extra bonus stats. In my case, I got 1% crit damage. Now, keep in mind that the upgrades vary based on the equipment, right? So this one, which is a rare 5-star equipment, is definitely more expensive to upgrade than a 1-star common. So do keep that in mind. But either way, upgrading to level 8 is still fairly cheap, so it's worth doing if you are planning on using that equipment, especially for the 2 characters that you're going to use most often. The other thing that's fairly obvious is that if you are focusing on 2 characters, you want to make those 2 characters as strong as possible. And how do you make them strong? Well, we already covered the fact that you need to have gear that's ideally lifesteal, because that gives you a bunch of healing. And right now, while I don't have a really good healer that I can use, I know there are certain characters that have amazing healing abilities. And if you go in passes, if you go all the way down here, there's this really cool healer that's actually available, Rector Wrath. And if you check out its healing skills, it is really cool. And also, if I get that, I could just use that with a good damage dealer, and I think I could go pretty far with just those 2. The only problem is it does require an advanced pass, which is about 21 Canadian dollars or 15 US dollars. Pretty tempted to get it, but you know what? Not during this video. I specifically said this is a free-to-play video. Maybe after I'm done with the video, who knows what I do. But anyhow, it does have some really cool stuff that I do need, like 5-star chickens, right? We'll talk about chickens soon. A total of 5 5-star chickens means that you can upgrade any of your characters that are 5-star to 6-star, which is pretty much something I need to do next. Another thing that you probably should do as soon as possible is to have this game downloaded through Aptoid in at least one of your devices. And the reason is because you can save a lot of money whenever you make in-game purchases in this game, especially if you use my promo code, which is currently Sky, but it might change. We're talking 10 to 35% cash back on any purchase. So $100, you're getting back $10 up to $35 back for you to spend on other packs. The other really cool thing is that you are going to be getting a special gift from Raid Shadow Legends directly if you download this game through Aptoid within 1 month. Now you can have it on your iPhone at the same time and use BlueStacks to download this game and log into your account on BlueStacks, and then you get this amazing gift as well. We're talking 5 full energy, 3 epic skill tombs, 1 rank 5 chicken. How much do we love rank 5 chickens? I love them a lot, so I'm sure you do too. A 3-day experience boost, 3 rare skill tombs, and some silver. There's so many free things that you're getting just for downloading the game through a different app store. So why wouldn't we want to do it? And in addition to that, I'm telling you about the 10 to 35% bonus that you get if you're a spender. So if you're not a spender, just enjoy those free gifts. Like epic skill tomes are extremely hard to get. You're getting a lot of them. And if you are a spender, well, you're going to be thanking me a lot because you're going to be saving so much money that other people aren't, right? It's a competitive game. You want to spend as less as possible to get the most amount of benefit. And this way, anytime you're spending, you're getting 10 to 35% back to spend more, right? It's a win-win for you. So the steps are fairly simple. I have them added in the description of this video as well. And then I have another video where I go through the whole steps with you. I recommend you watch it so that you don't make any mistakes. Basically, you need to download the Raid Shadow Legends through the Aptoid App Store on your Android or BlueStacks device. Download an AppCoins wallet, set it up, and then add the Sky promo code. Then, for the duration of the promo code being active, you're going to enjoy all of those amazing bonuses. But keep an eye out as the promo code does change. So join our Discord so you always find out when the new promo code comes out. So the steps, the video, and the Discord link, all of them are in the description of this video. So if you can, please do check it out. The full process is going to take you maybe 5 to 10 minutes, I think. So worth it for sure. And don't delay, because those epic skill tomes and the rank 5 chicken and all that prizes that I talked about, they're only giving it within the first month of the partnership. So basically they're celebrating the partnership with Aptoid. Going back to the rest of the video now. Let's talk about the champions. So other than equipment, you have levels, you have stars, you have pink stars, right? You might be wondering, what are all of these and what's going on here? I'm going to break it down for you so that you can understand it really easily. The number of stars on your character dictates the maximum level of your character. Meaning if you go to this brute, he's 2-star, he can go up to level 20. Once he reaches level 20, you can sacrifice a certain number of characters of similar star level as him, like the ones that you can see on the left, to star him up to 3-star. So once he's level 20, I believe you only need 2 other characters of 2-star to get him to 3-star. Now, the moment he gets to 3-star, his level goes down to 1. So he basically resets himself, and now he's a brand new level 1 3-star character. This guy is a 3-star level 1 character. He can go up to level 30. Once he's level 30, you can sacrifice 3 characters of 3-star, and he's going to go to 4-star level 1. And once he's 4-star, like this one right here, he can go up to level 40, at which point you can sacrifice 4 4-star characters to get him to 5-star. So even someone that is common, like Axeman here, could go up to 5-star or 6-star. But that's never going to happen because you're never going to really 6-star the Axeman, right? So the rarities define the initial star, right? Common is starting at 1-star. Uncommon is starting at 2 star. Rare is starting at 3 star. Epic is starting at 4 star. And Legendary is starting at 5 star. And I believe Mythical starts at 6 star. So that is the star. And that's the yellow star, right? We're not talking about the pink stars yet. In other words, stars are great because they are defining the maximum level of the character. And of course, as you star them up, they get stronger. The maximum is 6 star level 60. But once it's 6 star level 60, you really can't upgrade it to 7 star. That's the maximum, right? Now, regardless of if you have it at the maximum star or not, you can convert those yellow stars to pink stars. That also happens in the tavern, and that's called Ascend. Now, as you can see, I got the brute in here, and I can ascend him using some of these potions, and then he is going to become from 2 star, which is yellow, he goes to 2 star, but with one of them being pink. And what that does is it increases his basic stats. It doesn't always have to be like that though. Sometimes when you are ascending certain characters like Sun Wukong, after 3 pink star, he actually gets a new skill. So Ascension is pretty cool. But something you probably noticed while I was doing this, it is far cheaper to upgrade a brute, which is an uncommon character, only requiring 2 of the minor blue potions and 2 of the minor white potions. But as you move up higher, like a rare character is asking for 4 blue minor potions and 2 white minor potions. Move up even higher to our lovely legendaries, and even the first Ascension is asking for 1 superior green potion and 5 major white potions. Now, these potions aren't easy to get. So as you can imagine, it is much harder to ascend a legendary than it is to ascend a common or uncommon or even rare. And as you ascend them further, the cost significantly increases, right? Every new star is more expensive. That being said, of course, as you can see in legendaries, you are getting a certain skill once you're ascending, so I guess there's a cost benefit analysis there. So pink star better than yellow star, right? If you can, you want to be ascending your characters so that they are fully ascended, as that makes them stronger. So we covered the ranks. Once skill gets to level 50, we can use up other 5-star characters to ascend him to 6 star. Now the problem is I don't want to use the Sun Wukong or the other character that I have just to upgrade kill, right? Why would I want to do that? They are lovely characters and I'm probably not getting another one of them anytime soon. That is definitely a concern, and well, what you can do is that if you have chickens of 5-star, you can use them instead, right? So 5 chickens of 5-star will work just the same way as 5 characters of 5-star, so you can use those to upgrade your character to 6-star. A chicken, you can get them through events, you can buy them as I was talking earlier, or you can get them through certain milestones and achievements. There are a bunch of them available completely free. I've used a bunch already, so they're not going to be too short. 5-star chickens, a little harder to get, at least in the first day. I didn't see many of them. There was just the one that I showed you for 21 Canadian dollars. But other than that, they aren't that easy to get. But here's another thing that you need to think about. I mentioned earlier that a 1-star can go to level 10, then you can rank it up to 2-star. Get it to level 20, rank it up to 3-star, get it to level 30, ranking up to 4-star, get it to level 40, rank it up to 5-star. And then this Axeman can be a 5-star character that can be used as bait to upgrade other characters that you need to 6-star, right? It's a little bit of a grind. Not a little bit, it's a pretty big grind. But it is something that you can do if you have the time and resources for it. Just create these bits, use them up, and then, well, you got a 6-star level 60 character ready for you. And of course, it's going to take you really far. Okay, so another way of leveling other than just going through those campaign levels and all that stuff is you could use certain characters as a way of getting experience. Now, I've done it in the past. I'm not doing it a lot now because what ended up happening earlier was that I leveled it up all the way through, but I didn't have the resources to rank it up. So at that point, anytime I spent in the campaigns, part of it was going to waste because, well, the character was already maxed out and I couldn't really get it to rank up. So the experience of that particular character was going to waste. So I stopped doing it. But if I wanted to, I could. I could also use some of these that can give a ton of experience, and just using 8 of them could get me to max level. But I won't do it because I currently don't have the 5-star characters to use to upgrade him to rank 6. Okay, so an interesting thing to note is that when you are trying to ascend a character but you don't have any of the potions, you could theoretically go to the potion mixer. 10 lesser potions can make one greater potion, 10 greater potions can make one superior potion. So 100 lesser potions are equal to one superior potion. That being said, it does come with a cost of silver, which is particularly expensive when we're talking about the greater to superior. But then again, if you only have lesser potions and you're trying to get a superior, you're going to have to do this 10 times, which is 200,000 silver plus this one time, which would be 100,000, so 300,000 silver just to get one superior potion, assuming you have 100 of these lying around. So it is fairly expensive. In other words, upgrading a legendary character is very expensive. Ascending them is very expensive because of the cost of these potions that are particularly hard to get. So even though my Kale is already 5-star and ascended up to the maximum, the Monkey King, even though I want to ascend it, I don't have the resources to do so. So he's kind of stuck at 1 pink star. The other thing is that each character has skills. And as you can see here, the Monkey King's skills are all at level 1. Now, if I were to upgrade them, they get some really cool buffs. If I talk about this one that attacks all the enemies, and before attacking it actually steals all the buffs from the enemies and then places a block buffs debuff on them for 2 turns, which is an amazing skill, and it does a lot of damage as well. At level 2, it increases the damage by 10%, and then level 3, it increases damage again by 10%, which is exactly what I'm looking for this character. He's a damage dealer. More damage is good. And at level 4, it reduces the cooldown by 1, which means you can release this skill very often. So this skill gets way more powerful as you level it up further. And similarly, same goes with all the other skills. So while I do have the Sun Wukong, he's a smaller version of the Sun Wukong because his skills are not upgraded. Now Kale has all of them at level 6. So maxed out, right? So damage plus 5%, buff chance plus 10%, damage plus 10%. It has all of that, the cooldown minus 1. So Kale is sitting here with maxed out skills. So he is really a very powerful version of Kale. And the reason is simple. Just like how there's a huge cost of ascending legendary characters, there's also a huge cost of upgrading their skills. Kale was very easy. You only need one book to upgrade one of these skills at random, right? So in total, I needed 14 rare tombs to upgrade Kale all the way to the max. And rare tombs are far easier to get. You can see I have one of them even right now. So if there was a skill that wasn't maxed out yet, I could use it and get one more level on it. But when you go to my legendary tombs, because Sun Wukong is legendary, he needs legendary tombs. I don't have any of that. In fact, I don't even have the epic tombs, let alone legendary. So it is going to be extremely hard for you to try to max out the Sun Wukong because, well, the skill upgrades are extremely expensive, and then the Ascension is pretty expensive as well. And for this reason, I'm actually going to get my Kale to 6-star level 60 first before I start focusing on getting the Sun Wukong to 6-star level 60. Simply because Kale is so much easier to upgrade, so my focus is going to be on maxing out Kale. Now there are masteries as well, and you could farm the scrolls that you use to upgrade the masteries. And for that, you need to go to the Minotaur's Labyrinth, and you have an opportunity of getting some of these scrolls. Now, who gets the scroll is kind of random. It's based on who joined the battle. It could be anyone who was part of it. So it is a little bit of a grind. The other option that you have is that you can actually buy all scrolls using 800 diamonds. I really haven't done that because even though I've been playing for about a day, I do have a pretty good idea that diamonds aren't actually coming in that easily. So one thing I did do is I unlocked the mine as soon as I got 500 diamonds, and I'm going to continue upgrading the mine 2 more levels as soon as I can. Because the gem mine is a pretty good long-term investment, right? It's producing gems for me every few hours. And if I can increase the number it produces every few hours, in the long run, this will not only pay for itself, it'll actually give an extra back. Missions. You're going to start off at the Arbiter mission. You want to try to get through all of these missions because they come with some amazing associated prizes. And also, keep an eye out on the stuff that's coming out next. So some of the future missions you can actually complete in advance. And then when you complete the current mission, you can actually start getting all of the prizes of the future missions as well. And that can be fairly helpful to get a pretty nice boost in a lot of, let's say, energy or a bunch of other cool prizes that you get through this. And it's definitely worth it. The other missions, they don't unlock until you actually complete the previous ones, and I haven't really done that yet. If you look at the bottom, you do get some other cool prizes as well, and I can see the legendary skill tomb. I definitely want that as soon as possible. And then I actually get a legendary champion as well, which is really cool. The other thing that I found amazing was this apprentice pass, and the basic prizes were actually pretty phenomenal as well. If you look at the top, I got some chickens, I got these potions, I got the skill tombs, and that's why you could see that my Kale actually had all of his skills maxed out, because I was getting a bunch of these skill tombs from here, and the greater potions at level 10. Imagine that, right? Greater potions are really hard to get, but you can get them from here, and a bunch of other cool stuff. And honestly, if you get the advanced prize, it just gets even sweeter. Now, how do you get through these levels? There's these daily challenges, and that gives you 20 each day. So even if you are just doing the daily challenges, you're going to get through really far. But look at the apprentice challenges, and they actually give a lot. So these are 15 each, and you can see that I did a lot of them because I want to try to get through as fast as possible. And a lot of these are pretty much about your Kale, right? So upgrading Kale just makes a lot of logical sense for you to focus on first, right? We were talking about the Sun Wukong or Kale going to 6-star first. Here's another reason for Kale to go 6-star first, because you get Kale to rank 6, you get 15 of these points, you get him to level 60, you get 15 more, that's 30, and that's more than one level of these, and hence it is actually a lot of cool prizes that you're definitely going to need. Quests. You also want to be doing the quests every single day. The daily quests, get through all of them, get the diamonds because they are pretty rare. Weekly quests as well, and then monthly, of course, important to do as well. Advanced is still locked for me, but you know what, I'm sure they have some really cool stuff there too. And then there are challenges that gives you certain rewards. Try to do them as well, because they also come with some nice stuff like the skill tombs and a bunch of other prizes like silver. And silver is a currency that you're always using for pretty much everything. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. I know I covered a lot in this video, and you can just see that, within a day, there's just so much that I've learned and so much that I can teach you. I could make another video with probably the same amount of length as this one, and I think there'd still be a bunch of things that I would be missing. That's just the way the game works. Raid Shadow Legends has a ton of different things in it, and that's what makes it a game that people get so addicted to. There's just so many different quests and challenges and associated prizes that you're always doing something. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it, please subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.